Now, let's talk about the actual process of collecting the sample. First, the bottles may contain a chemical preservative, so be sure to avoid spilling that or getting any of it on your skin. Wash your hands before putting on the nitrile gloves. These gloves may be provided by the lab in your sampling kit. If they're not provided, you will need to get some. The gloves must be worn during the sampling. Find the PFAS bottles in your cooler. There should be 2 empty 250 milliliter or 275 milliliter plastic bottles that have a preservative already in them. One may be labeled field blank. Save that one for later. A third bottle will have PFAS-free water in it supplied by the lab. Save that one as well. Flush your cold water sampling tap approximately 15 minutes prior to collecting the sample. Slow the water stream just before you collect your sample so you don't splash the preservative out of the bottle. Remove the cap from one bottle, placing it thread side up if there is no one else around to hold it for you. Do not touch the inside of the cap or around the edge of the bottle. Fill the sample bottle to the neck, allowing for a small amount of headspace. Do not overfill or flush out any of the preservative. Replace the cap, tighten it, and then invert the sample at least 5 times to mix the sample with the preservative. Record the sample date, time, and site on both the bottle label and the enclosed chain of custody. The information on the chain of custody and labels must match and be complete. Now for the field blank. Just after you have completed collecting the PFAS sample in the first empty bottle, it is time to collect the field blank. You do this at the same site and under the same conditions you collected the PFAS sample. Open the empty bottle that is labeled field blank, again placing the cap with the thread face up and not touching the inside of the cap or the threads on the bottle. Open the bottle with the PFAS-free water that was supplied by the lab and pour the water into the field blank bottle. Recap, tighten, and invert it 5 times just like you did the actual PFAS sample. Again, the field blank will only be analyzed if PFAS is detected in the PFAS sample. The purpose of the field blank is to check and see if there are any environmental cross-contamination issues at the sample site that could account for PFAS being present in the sample that was collected. All right, you've collected your PFAS sample, prepared the field blank, and completed the chain of custody. You are now ready to package the samples and send them to the lab. Follow the specific instructions provided by your lab. They will likely want you to pack the samples surrounded by Ziploc bags of wet ice. Get the sample package to your overnight carrier immediately. The samples must arrive at the laboratory within 48 hours of sampling and at or less than 10 degrees Celsius and greater than 0 degrees Celsius. In other words, not frozen.